So first thing we're gonna start with is warming the legs up with some leg lifts before we get into kicking. So from here, we're just gonna take that right leg, swing it up as high as you can. We're gonna do 10 of them. Good, and as you do that, I want you to focus on keeping your shoulders forward. That way you're not leaning back like this, okay? Keep those shoulders forward and let that leg swing up. Engage the core. Good. Now we're gonna do the other side. Straight up. Good. That's it. 6, 7. Good. As you swing that leg, focus on keeping it straight. Okay, good. All right, now we're gonna do some side leg lifts. You're gonna swing your leg all the way to the side, pop, just like that. We're gonna do 10 of them. Good, now the other side. Good, now we're gonna do the rear leg lift. Swing it all the way back. And other side. Good. All right, first we're gonna go into some stances and things to look out for as you're practicing. So first stance we're gonna go into is a horse stance. Now, with your horse stance, what I want you to focus on is bringing the feet apart and making sure that the feet are parallel, so they're facing the same direction. This is so as you sink into your horse stance, those knees press outward, so you have tension on the outside of your knee. A lot of times you'll see people sink with their feet out like this, but if you feel your knee with your toes out, notice how my knee can move a lot. It has an increased range of motion. For that horse stance, we want stability and for the knee to be protected. So I want you to pull that foot in and notice by pressing it outward, see how it stops that range of motion? And this is gonna also tighten your quads as well. So from here, we're gonna have our feet out like so, good. Then for the distance, what you wanna pay attention to is when you sink, are your knees pressed above your ankles? If your horse stance is too wide, then it's gonna be easy for somebody to sweep you. So from here, feet parallel, good. Then hips tucked, rolling the pelvis forward, good. And the tailbone right underneath the spine. Now, as you sink, immediately press the knees out. Good, so 1, we're gonna do 10 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, good. 6, and as you do this, I want you to focus having tension on the outside of those knees, good. Now the next thing we're gonna work on is making sure those hips stay tucked. Notice how if I do this horse stance sideways, if my hips are tucked, my body should be straight up. A lot of times people will push their knees forward and their hips will go out like this and their head will be leaning. This puts more pressure on your knees. So if you feel like your knee is hurting as you do this, double check where your knees are pressing. So from here, hips tucked, back straight, and as soon as I start to sink in my horse stance, I'm pressing those knees out. Hips tucked, back straight, and press and sink. Good. Now, you want to make sure that you're not going too low. What is too low? If those hips go below your knees. If those hips go below your knees, you're going to end up more in a squatting position. So from here, pop, right there. Good. Here, pop, right here. Good. Now, as you're doing this, you can go 10 up and down quick, focusing on tension on the outside of your knees. Then you can also go up, drop quick, and hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Then come back up, drop quick, and hold. Now you can also hold that even 15 seconds, which will allow your body to stretch into that position. And as you get lower in your horse stance and deeper, your hips are going to open up, which will take less pressure off of your ankles and your knees. So also focus on opening those hip flexors up. So here, down. Good, they come up, and you can do 10 of those. Next thing we're gonna practice is dropping fast, raising slow. So drop, then slowly come up, and drop. Slowly come up, drop. Slowly come up, and drop, and hold. Good. Now, you can also reverse that. So, slowly drop, and then quickly come up. Slowly drop, then quickly come up. Slowly drop, and up. Slowly drop, and up. One more time. Slowly drop, and up. Good. So main things for your horse stance, making sure your feet are parallel, hips tucked, back straight, head up, that way you're not leaning everywhere. Also making sure that as soon as you start to sink, those knees go straight outward rather than forward. If my knees go forward, as soon as I start sinking, see how I start losing stability? I want to make sure that my shoulders don't go behind my hips. So here, if you can, use a camera or a mirror so you can see how your body is as you're sinking and if you lean anywhere. The next thing we're going to work on is going to a cat stance. So for your cat stance, you want most of the weight on the back leg, and you use that cat stance as a way to not only create distance, but to throw a fast kick off that front leg, like so, here. So with your cat stance, you want your foot pointed to the corner, the inside of your foot will be at a 45-degree angle. Then, same thing, pressing the knees outward. Then from here, we're going to turn the body and push the hips back, just like this. Good. Now, notice, just like our horse stance, my intention of my knees are to keep them protected. So if my knee is coming inward like this, if I get kicked, it can drop me very easily. So I need to press it out that way and press it out this way. And you should feel it in your quads much more. Now from here, to work on your cat stance, you come up, then drop down, and up, drop down, and up, drop down. Now notice how I'm pushing my hip this way. You should feel a stretch down this side of your leg. And up, drop down, and up, and drop down. Good, now we're gonna do the other side. So from here, up, drop down and push that hip back, and up, and drop down. Make sure you're lowering with your leg and not with your upper body. Up, drop down, and up, drop down. Good. Next thing we're gonna work on from a square cat stance, here, drop, good, then come up, then down again, making sure that knee is pressed out, and up, again, down, and up, and down, and up. Okay, other side, down, and up, down, and up, down, and up, and down, and up. Good. Now, from your cat stance, here, next thing we're going to work on is driving that leg up tight to the body for a crane stance. So from this position here, your hands, you can have them on your hips, down, or as your guards. Now, for your guards, if you're in your cat stance, you want the hand that is closest to your opponent to protect your head. This increases that distance. So from here, if I have my guards up, pop my hip back, that way I have stability. If somebody were to come forward on me, I can kick very quickly. If my cat stance is with a straight leg, it's going to be very easy to tip me over. So here, boom, bend the knee, good. Pop the hip back, guards forward, and as my guards are forward, I'm also activating my obliques right here. Good. Now from here, crane stance, then down slow, crane stance, down slow, good. Crane stance, and make sure that ankle is nice and tight, and down, good. Now notice, I'm moving my leg and not my torso. So I pull that leg in, and I crunch, up, and down, good. Okay, now from here, do your other side, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down. Good. Now you can mix those in as a good warm-up. You can also do 50 of them, pulling them in tight, and relax this leg and drive it up. If my leg is too tense and I try to bring it up, then you'll notice how it starts to move slower. Okay, you want that tight crane here and tighten it right there, okay? Relax it, fast up and hold. Relax it, fast up and hold. Okay, good. Now the next thing we're gonna work on is using that tight crane to kick. The reason why you want that tight crane for your kicks is so you can kick in a straight line, as straight as possible. If my crane starts down here and my target is up here, what happens is my kick is gonna end up scooping, okay? Which is fine if you're kicking somebody up towards the groin, but if I'm trying to hit the center of their body, I want my kick to move them back, and if they don't move away from my kick, it's going to compact the damage. So either they're gonna get further away from me, or something's gonna get broken as they get kicked. So the next thing from here, what I want you to do is, we're not gonna go to a heel-toe horse stance quite yet. I want you to just focus on getting that leg up quick and then releasing the kick. Now from this position here, make sure you turn your front foot. That way it allows you to turn your hips and then pick your leg up. If I don't turn this foot, then I can only turn my hips about this much, which means that if I try to kick, I won't be able to get as much extension. Or if I force that kick to turn me, either my foot moves, which will cause me to spin a little bit and the kick will glance off to the side, or it tweaks my knee. So very important that when you're doing this kick from this position here, turn the front foot, pick the back leg up, then kick straight. Now, from here, we're gonna work a heel-toe stance where your back heel lines up with your front toe. This is to help have a direct kick. If my foot is too far behind me, then I can still kick, but I have to swing it around, which will cause me to lose power for my kick. So from here, just for that snap kick, what I want you to think about is straight line, straight line. So wherever my opponent is, my shooting is that back leg, pop, back leg, okay? Boom. And notice I turn this foot. So this is more protected when my foot is slightly turned inward. If my foot is here, knee is not as stable, which can cause it to get broken if it gets kicked back. So I turn this foot slightly here. But now I turn it so when I'm about to kick. So turn the foot, bring the crane up, then kick, then bring it back. Now from here, we're gonna do 10 of them just from a relaxed stance. So let's say stand with one foot forward, knees slightly bent, relaxed posture, and then from here, crane stance, kick, good. Then bring it back, crane and kick, bring it back. Turn and kick, bring it back, turn and kick, good. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. So from here, turn this front foot, bring this back leg up, and kick, bring it back. Turn and kick, bring it back, good. Turn and kick, bring it back. Turn and kick, bring it back. Now that we've been focusing on relaxing the leg so we can pull it up fast, we're gonna do that from a horse stance. So from here, you're gonna go heel toe horse stance, pressing the guards forward, and you wanna work that horse stance so your body gets used to it. So hips tucked, knees pressed out, good. Feet parallel so everything stretches. Then from this position here, turn that front foot first, then transfer the weight over, bring that leg forward, kick, then bring it back. Notice how my ankle has a certain amount of tension in it the whole time. If I'm kicking and I bring my knee up where my leg is tight, but my ankle is loose, just from having that ankle loose, it can start to pull my body in different directions. So I want everything tight. Now, think about your hands for a moment. If my guards are relaxed, then they're not ready to hit. They're not ready to block. Everything is used to cause pain to our opponent. Okay, so from here, what you want, just like those hands, we want them engaged and ready. We want our knees engaged and ready to protect and to attack. Then from here, tight crane, everything is engaged and ready to attack. Notice no loose feet here, then kick, then bring it back. Up and kick, bring it back, good. Now we're gonna do 10 of those. So ready from here, right leg back, guards up. Now, also I want you to add a sound as you're kicking. Sound we make for our kicks is tick. That sound is not only to help with your focus, for your intent, but also to help with your breathing. If I'm not breathing correctly and my body is too tense, then I'm gonna move slow. If my body is too relaxed, then it's just gonna fall over. So you have to find a balance between them. Too relaxed, you fall over. Too tense, you move slow and you'll never hit anything. So from here, guards up and kick. Tick! Good, now I want you to hold that return crane and go. Tick! And hold, that's it, and bring it back. And go. Tick! And hold, and bring it back. And go. Tick! And hold it, that's it. And bring it back. And now let's do your other side. Goes up, good, and go! Tick! And hold, and bring it back. Good, that way you can feel if you're starting to fall off balance, to tighten your body. Now, also, if you are falling off balance, I want you to double check. Are you turning your front foot forward? Or are you transferring your weight over with your foot slightly to the side? Also, or if you are overturning. As you are practicing, first, you learn very strict form. Once your body is built to move in a strict form, then you can start to play with the angles. But that strict form is important because if you start playing with angles too soon, you can twist something. So as you're practicing that strict form, you're also practicing where to tighten around the joints, how to connect your body using separate movements. So a lot of times as I'm teaching how to do a snap kick, when people bring their leg back, they turn their head this way. So from here, practice stepping, keeping those eyes straight forward, and visualize somebody. Then from here, turn the hips, grind. Okay? And you can just practice this here. 1, 2. Step, turn. Step, turn. Good. Step and turn. And the reason why I have you step and turn is so you don't swing this leg around. If I swing this leg around, this can throw me off balance, but also this ends up locking my knees up. To be mobile, you want your knees bent. We don't want to walk like this, like stilts, right? Okay, I want to be mobile, 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 mobile. Now, from here, let's do a few more kicks. So, go, tick, go, tick, go, tick, and go, tick. Hold it. That's it. Good. And bring it back. Next thing is how to transfer from your horse stance to your cat stance. So let's go to our heel toe horse stance first. And we're going to work on just transferring back to a cat stance to create more distance. So I turn my back foot in. Now, as I turn my back foot in, I still have tension going on the outside of my knee. That way, my knee is always protected. If I'm in my horse stance, I turn my back foot in and I let my knee relax inward, then when I transfer over, you're going to feel bad pain on the inside of your knee. So if you feel bad pain on the inside of your knee, double check, where is that tension? Are you pressing the knees out or are they starting to cave in? So from here, we're gonna go horse stance, cat stance, horse stance, cat stance, horse stance, cat stance, horse stance, cat stance. Now notice, as I transfer to my cat stance, I prepare my body by turning my foot inward. That way, if my opponent attacks me here, 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 I'm stable the whole time. If I don't turn this foot and my opponent attacks me, then my ankle can turn inward like this and I can really hurt my ankle or twist it. But here, now my knee is pressed out, my quads are activated, and my weight is all in my heel the whole time. So I can fight from here and here as I'm still retreating. So for here, guards up, turn the back foot in, cat stance. Good. Step forward, horse stance, cat stance. Again, horse stance, good, cat stance. One more time. Horse stance and cat stance. Very good. Now, on top of mixing fast and slow, you can also just go slow. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Sometimes we want to get it over with. But if we're just getting it over with to check a box, we might not see the improvement that we truly want. And the improvement that you truly want is becoming aware of your whole body. That's what you're doing as you're practicing your martial art. Is to create awareness, everything down to what my right hand is doing or my right pinky to my left toe. And where the weight distribution is, what joints you're tightening, what muscles you're activating. So from here, let's work on a slow motion snap kick. So from here, we can start feet together, facing forward, then step straight back so you can feel everything. Then pivot both of your feet, press the knees out immediately, then guards up. Now from here, we're going to turn that front foot, place the heel down, shift the weight over to our front leg, bringing this leg up, and then extending, keeping that ankle pressed, hitting with that ball of our foot. Good. And step straight back, and pivot and sink. And we're gonna do the other side. Here, turn, pick the back leg up, extend, bring it in nice and tight, step straight back, turn, and sink. Good. Now, you can use those concepts that we're talking about, having intention, paying attention to the form of your body as you hit, your whole body. So where your focus is, what are you striking, what is your tension in your hands compared to tension in your legs, which part of your core you're working, and focus and apply that into your other kicks as well as your techniques. So if you find that you're falling off balance in something as you're going fast, slow it down so you can find where the imbalance is. Your goal as you're training is to find your weaknesses. Weaknesses are not a bad thing as long as you have a growth mindset. As I'm training, my goal is always find my weaknesses. If I can find my weaknesses, then that'll pinpoint me and show me what I need to fix or adjust to make it tighter, faster, stronger. And that might include doing a bunch of different stretches and other exercises to build missing muscle components. All right, so as you're training, your goal, find your weaknesses. What are your weaknesses? And then try to pinpoint it and fix it. Weaknesses are fantastic things as long as you focus on having a growth mindset. All right, thank you, good job, and let's close it up. How's the lighting? Pretty good?